Alrighty, Save the Semantics, episode 258. It is May 9th, 2024. My name is Myro. This is the podcast where I ramble on for a bit about some shit. I think it's been a little while since I've recorded. Actually, no. I've been pretty good. It hasn't been like 2 weeks or anything like that. The issue is that I have a problem with the podcasting host site that I use. When it comes to like posting on YouTube, like it's very inconsistent. I don't understand why it does this. I don't think there should be like a limit on the amount of data or the size of the file that gets uploaded. But essentially it's supposed to automatically, so I'll post on the hosting site and then it should automatically post a link to YouTube, but for some reason that doesn't work. So sometimes I have to upload it directly to YouTube itself, which is not a problem by any means, but it's just annoying because it's just I can't rely on that, you know what I mean? And it's honestly what's even the point of using this if I'm not if it's not even really working? I like having it as sort of a domain, not like a domain, but like having it as the site as kind of an official site. It's not mine, but somewhere that you can kind of see all of the episodes from all the years, because on my YouTube I haven't posted every single episode. I only started it part way through, so I didn't really it doesn't have everything on there. Anyways, just a kind of minor issue. So I'm gonna try to upload those. I try to upload last episode maybe tomorrow if I have the time, and also this episode as well. So what I'm going to be talking about in the last episode is going to be very dated. Well, it kind of, that's just kind of usually the case, right, when I talk about stuff. But a lot to talk about, man. There's a lot of things going on in my life and then also just in the world. So I don't even know really where to start. I guess I'll talk a little bit about what's, what I'm doing right now. I'm recording this at midnight, just because I haven't been able to find the time to do this, and I want a space for myself just to reflect on stuff. So I've been here in Buenos Aires for about a few days now for work, and it's been good. It's been nice so far. There's been some things that have, been an adjustment. I think the biggest thing, and I've talked about this to death with my colleagues, but just the fact that I don't have a data plan. I was not prepared for that. I should have been better prepared for that. I should have, taken care of that before I left, but I've been really just relying on Wi-Fi to do anything, to get around, to call for Ubers and shit like that, primarily to look at the maps. So that's been frustrating, but it's on me because I just didn't go through the process of getting a SIM card or anything like that. So I'm gonna try to do that tomorrow if I can. To actually just take care of that, so I don't have to worry about shit. What else? What was I gonna say? Yeah, so just kind of a few things here and there that I've been, I've sort of been trying to figure out. Some things with my apartment and whatnot. Trying to figure out kind of where to go for groceries and that kind of thing, laundry. Still figuring it out. First week. But I've done a good amount of stuff already here, mostly related to food. I've gone out a couple of times, late nights. They eat super late here. It's just a cultural thing. They also start the workday very late, so that's kind of what my schedule has been. But it's been good. It's been really nice. I feel, I don't know, it just giving me a different routine has really been good for me. I think that's kind of the biggest thing kind of take away from all of this. I mean, obviously, the fact that I'm living abroad and everything is huge as well. But I think another big thing is just a change of scenery. Um, I felt that I've needed this for a while, or, need is kind of a strong word, but it's something that I've kind of wanted for a while. And this kind of opportunity sort of came to me. I was very fortunate to, just kind of stumble across it. And yeah, I'm trying my best to take advantage of it, just kind of build out a different kind of routine, maybe it's not the most healthy in terms of like staying up super late or whatever, but I feel good. I feel very, there's been moments of frustration for sure, just in terms of just like, just getting accustomed to some things, but it's primarily just related to my own doing, but other than yeah, it's just been nice to have something different going on as opposed to what I've been doing for what's been really the past 3 years, just with my work schedule and life schedule in general. They sort of are kind of coincide and intertwined, and so this feels like it's not permanent by any means, but this is a very nice change of pace. And I feel like I'm also, I don't know, I feel like I'm also being productive too, on top of things. Like I feel like I'm actually getting things done too, so that's been good. um so yeah, that's kind of the catch up on my end, but let's talk about some things, man. A lot of things have happened since I last recorded in a span of like a weekend. um should I just get the freaking Drake and Kendrick shit out of the way? I'm so late to talking about this, but I the last time I talked about the Kendrick and Drake beef or whatever, it's so funny how it's just progressed, because it's like I was just like, I heard about, initially it was just like, oh, the diss tracks, whatever, I don't care about diss tracks, blah blah blah, and then that sort of thing. But this has escalated to a point of just, it's absurdity, where it's just like, okay, like it's completely, it's so funny because I hadn't even thought about diss tracks in forever, and I was just kind of brushing it off, but this has just gotten to a point of insane proportions that I just couldn't see happening. Like, it is there nothing going on where this like beef essentially just transcends everything and just becomes like a talking point in every corner of, internet, public spaces. Like, it's just kind of wild. Like, you hear the diss tracks when you're watching the NBA games, and you're like, what the fuck, dude? Like, this, can they play this? And then you hear that it's like, one of Kendrick's songs is like charting, and it's like top of the Billboard. You're like, you can't even like you have to censor the whole song. What do you like? They not like us. That's the only thing they can play. They can only play the hook. Like, they can't play anything else. Everything else has to be just censored. Like, it's because it's all accusations, basically, right? Do I even really need to summarize what's going on? I don't need, like, this episode is just gonna be called, like, I don't know. I wanna call it something related to it, but I'm also like, because like part of me wants to like look back, and because I mean this thing has been so documented already and talked about just on every space of the internet. Like, I have nothing else to add. It's just like, look, what it's just gotten to a point of just absolute, just the point of no return. Like, it's just ridiculous. I think that, I feel that, I don't know if there's going to be any more tracks after this. Like, I know there was that period where Kendrick dropped like 3 songs in like a couple days or whatever, but it's just like, I don't know. It's kind of wild. It's so crazy, because like I was talking about, like, when I last week I was talking about how seeing, listening to Euphoria. I still enjoy Euphoria the best out of all of these tracks because it's the least, it's the least heinous, and it's like a fun diss track. You know what I mean? They Not Like Us is 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 uh is a lot. I don't even like I've listened to it and I'm like, can I enjoy this? Like I can enjoy the beat, but just everything that's being put on tape is just absurd, right? Um, but when I was talking about Euphoria initially, I was saying I was happy to see this kind of side of Kendrick, this kind of like a lot more. It feels like he is very energetic and he's bringing kind of like a good energy, I feel, to Euphoria at least. And I was like, this could be something. This could carry all forward onto his potential new project. I was kind of thinking of the prospects of that, and then all the other diss tracks came out. I'm like, this this whole kind of set of diss tracks by Kendrick. People have talked about this. It could be like an EP itself of just like the the biggest hater, just Kendrick being the biggest hate of Drake, but. I mean, I hope I don't know. Like, I, it's like after this period, I feel like Kendrick's not gonna do much. Like, unless somehow he drops another diss track. But it's just the way momentum has gone, and he's said everything he's wanted to say. I just don't know what else could be said at this point. Um, so, I feel like he's gonna kind of not do anything. I don't think he's gonna put out. Oh, my prediction, and I feel like I'm gonna be wrong because like right after this he's gonna drop something, but I feel like he's gonna just stay quiet for a while after this, because this is like the loudest he's been in a very very long time, really ever, about anything. Like he's not someone he'll drop an album, but it's not. He doesn't. Based on my understanding, he's not active on social media. He's not promoting shit. Like so this is like the loudest he's been. Um, so it's kind of interesting, but so I'm like, it's nice hearing Kendrick for sure. I'm not complaining about that. But I don't think he's gonna come out with anything after this period because he's. I just don't think it's in his. I don't know. It's not really his way of like. Is he gonna promote an album following this? I just don't see it. I don't think he's that type of person. I mean, I don't know. If he does, like, who cares? I can take advantage of it, I guess. But just historically, I just don't think this is the way he's gone about promoting things. I really just think he just dropped these diss tracks because he hates Drake that much, and then he's gonna just fall off the face of the earth for a little while, and then he's not gonna come out with anything in like a year, which that's my feeling, which is, I don't know, disappointing maybe, but there's so much to talk about this whole thing. It's like almost exhausting. I don't even really want to reiterate it. Um, go watch a video or something. Um, I think it's so funny because I've talked. I don't like Drake. I've never really enjoyed his music, and yes, he does have a lot of shady things in his past, and what he's done. And I love Kendrick, so this whole beef should have been, in my eyes, like with Euphoria. I was like, ooh, this is good. This isn't good, like back and forth. Um, but it's like gotten to a point where it's like, I'm like, this is, can Drake sue? like, if the claims and all of these things that Kendrick has said about Drake, which are pretty like damning accusations, and I know, look, it would be so easy for me as someone who doesn't like Drake to be like, yeah, yeah, fuck him up. He's a real, creep and whatever. And he has exhibited a lot of inappropriate and creepy behavior for sure. I am not defending him by any means. I'm just saying that this has gone beyond the law. Like, this is libel, and this could potentially be libel and slander. You know what I mean? So like, I don't blame Drake if he's sued. I really wouldn't, just because it's just some really, I mean, it's some very, like, dude, you have a song that's charting, that's talking about you being a pedophile. It's the wildest shit, dude. Like, you think, you think about, people complaining about, like, I don't know, maybe explicit lyrics and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, this is this is like, this is criminal shit, man. Like, it just goes so far beyond whatever. It's wild. I don't think I've seen anything like this before. Someone can point maybe historically of like songs that have blown up just being just like what is, I mean, I'm trying to think of an example and I really can't, of like recent memory, you know what I mean? Like it's just absurd, and I don't know. I don't even know what to freaking, I don't even know what to think, because it's just so wild. Um, I just I think I'm just need like a break. Like, I'll listen, like I'll go back and listen to Euphoria, and I have gone back and listened to They Not Like Us. It's a fun song, but it's so, Jesus, dude. I think I would enjoy it if there weren't the pedophile lines. If there weren't those, if it was just him, if it was just Kendrick telling Drake like, hey, you copped, so and so's flow. You went to 21 Savage for credibility. Blah 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 blah. Those things are like, yeah, this is that's like rap beef. That's like, I don't know. That's like solid rap beef, I feel, and it's you. There's a sense of validity there. You're like, yeah, you're telling him that, like, hey, you're not a good rapper because of your personality, blah blah. Like, these things, it's like very, I don't know, it's not serious. It's like, I mean, maybe, some people might consider it to be serious, but it's not that serious. um but if it's like when you go with like Meet the Grams, where Kendrick is talking about Drake's family, it's like, dude, this is diabolical. Like, it was, when I was listening to it, I was just like, I had my face in my hands, because I was just like, dude, I can't, this is this is almost too much. Where it's like, I don't even know, like, because it's one of the darkest songs that I've heard in a long time about someone that I dislike. Like, I mean, it's really something. I I've listened to it like one time, and then I was kind of good. Like, I don't really want to listen to it again. It's funny, when I heard the beat, like, I was like thinking, I'm like, ooh, this could be something that, like, Griselda members could be rapping on, or like, Rock Marciano, that kind of collective, or that, that, people that sort of have the type of rap. And then you find out that the beat's made by The Alchemist, and you're like, oh, no wonder. Except it's used for this purpose. Like, if this beat was just used for, I don't know, Benny the Butcher, or West Side, or, like I said, Rock Marciano, or freaking, goddamn, I don't know, you know what I'm talking about. I can't think of his name. But maybe like Earl. Nah, it isn't less of an Earl beat. But you know who I'm talking about. It just the context of this song is just ridiculous, and I don't know. It's very uncomfortable to listen to. So I don't know, man. I this whole thing, like I'm just like I'm curious what the aftermath is gonna be and everything. Like I hope it's like nothing crazy happens, because it is just it is like absolute insanity to what point it's gotten to, and there's no turning back. There's no turning back, man. It's like opening up Pandora's box. You just can't close it after you reveal all this information. Like I think with someone like Drake, who is like so like he's so popular. He's it's his stardom, his celebrity could potentially transcend all of these insane accusations and stuff like that, but I think it's going to take time. I don't know, like, how do you brush that off if you're Drake? Like, you could try to put out more songs, you can put out an album and pretend like nothing happened, and just not even address it at all, but you can't really go in public. Like, you gotta stay indoors for a little while, man. If you're Drake, just stay out of cover. Just be quiet for like a few years, probably. Don't put out anything. Don't say anything. Don't do anything. Like, I'm just saying, if I were in Drake's shoes, right? Like, just don't even, like, right? Like, I mean, it's just kind of crazy. Just don't do anything. Don't talk to anyone. Like, pretend that it's COVID again. I'm not saying COVID is like over, because there's still cases here and there, but just pretend that it's 2020 again. Just stay indoors. Don't talk to anybody. Socially isolate. And just let it blow over. I feel like you have the luxury of doing something like that. You have a mansion, right? With apparently, never mind. You know what I mean. But I mean, it's just wild, really crazy what it's gotten, the point that it's gotten to. Yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. Let's talk basketball, because a lot of things have happened. We're currently in the second round of the NBA playoffs, the conference semifinals, and as of now, I think the most interesting result, I just finished watching the Knicks and the Pacers of Game 2. Knicks are up 2-0 in the series. Not too much of a surprise there. I didn't watch the first game. Apparently, there was some questionable calls and stuff. Ugh, God, I hate why does officiating have to be at the forefront of discussions? I hate that shit, man. Why? Come on, man. Why do we need to talk about the refs? Like, why? Just don't fuck up. Don't fuck up. I get your job is hard, but don't fuck up. Don't blow your whistle. Just have like a button or something. I don't know. Just don't suck. Just be better. Stop, like, I don't know. It's not, it's just, I don't know. I don't want to get into it. Just don't fuck up. Be better, please, for the sake of the product of the NBA and whatnot. Don't do the calls at the end of the games that dictate the entire, the result of the game. It's not good. Just don't do it. Don't do it. It's hard, but don't do it. The Celtics are up 1-0 against the Cavs. I have no faith in the Cavs. Oh, congrats to the Cavs for winning against the Magic, I guess. My Cavs have no chance. You got the Thunder, up one game against the Mavericks. They won last night. I caught when I was out with my colleagues. We walked kind of by a bar, and I saw on the television that they were in like the fourth quarter, and the Thunder were up by like 20 something points. So blowout of the Mavericks. They are 5-0 currently. They swept the Pelicans. The Thunder did. They swept the Pelicans. Now they have a 1-0 lead against the Mavericks. So interesting. I'm interested in seeing how that series turns out. Because I feel like it should be, game one doesn't indicate a ton. Not all the time, unless you're talking about the next series that I'm going to talk about. But it's what is it? It's not a great sign for the Mavericks. I think they can bounce back, but yeah, Luka needs to be better and all that. I have not watched any of the games, so, but based on what I've heard, Luka's been struggling a bit. So there might be like an injury that's like potentially hampering him, which sucks because you want the star players to be good. You want all players to be healthy. You don't want any injuries. Injuries just ruin everything. It's so unfortunate, but hopefully hopefully he's better. Because that should be that should be a better series. I feel like those teams should be more evenly matched. Like Dallas has more depth, and they have Luka. Well, actually, that's not true. No, the Thunder have quite a bit of depth. I can't really think straight right now. It's very late, but I wanted to record something. No, the Thunder have quite a bit of depth. My apologies, but I feel like Dallas has a lot of good players. They got Luka and Kyrie, and they have some good supporting members, and they were able to knock off the Clippers, in 6 games. So, like, I don't know. Is that going to translate? Maybe. But I feel that with Luka's star power ability, I feel like it maybe could be closer, but he also hasn't performed well during the entirety of the playoffs, so we'll see. Man, Thunder are a good team. I think the Thunder are very overlooked right now. It's kind of funny. But mainly they're overlooked because of the Timberwolves and Nuggets series. I mean, did anybody see this coming? Like, did anybody see the Wolves be up 2-0 after, 2 home games in Denver? Crazy. And game 2, they just absolutely knocked them out. Like, they were up by like 30-something points at a certain point, which is insanity. Like, I remember, like, I didn't watch, like, the first half because I was busy, and then I came back at night. Was it last night? No, this was 2 nights ago. And, I turned on the game, and I was like, wait, what is that score? It was, like, maybe, like, third quarter or something, and it was still up, like, 20-something. I'm like, what? There's no way. And Gobert was out. It was wild. I was just kind of, I didn't watch the whole game, but I watched I watched kind of the second half of the game, and it was just like, dude, they were dogging the Nuggets. Like, that defense was insane. I was just like, I feel like I hadn't seen defense like that. It's just like, defense where it's fun to watch. You know what I mean? Where it's like, holy dude, this is awesome. You know what I mean? Like, just the way that, like, there's the one sequence that comes to mind, and I think, is probably going to be the most pointed out example, but the one where Nikhil Alexander Walker is full court pressuring Jamal Murray, and then Jaden McDaniels comes to help double him, and they trap him, like, in the corner, like the right hand corner, or like the left hand corner of, like, the half court and it was just like, dude, he has no fucking chance. Like, he's like trying to get out of it, and dude, that's just arms just waving around, and then he manages to get it out of his hands and then pass it off, and then they continue to pressure, and then there's a 24-second clock violation. I mean, it was just insanity. It was incredibly impressive, and it was fun to watch too. And then on top of that, you got Anthony Edwards, who's been playing out of his mind. He didn't have like even a great game. I mean, 27 points is nothing to sniff at, but he didn't have to have a great game in order for them to win and completely destroy Denver. Like, it was just like the defense is just absurd. But he's still been incredible. He's had some just awesome moments, like the turnaround jumper, and like the MJ comparisons are like coming out, and I'm like, okay, let's calm down a little bit. Like, he himself said, like, hey, let's relax. All right, let's calm down on these fucking comparisons. But I think it's been a while since like a player this, I don't know, a player who plays like he does has been in the league. Just the type of player that he is not existent in the current NBA, right? Like, just the play style, the fact that he gets at it on both ends of the floor, and then on top of that, you got his personality, the charisma, whatever. It just is. He just exudes personality, and it's just like you can't deny that. He's very much like, he knows who he is, just like the confidence and everything like that. You look at other players across the league, and you're like, dude, nobody can really match that. Like, in terms of like personality like that, where it's just like contagious, and you can't, like, you just kind of respect it. It's like, it's him, and it's just him, really. Like, I'm trying to think of other players that are, that kind of, the way that he is in terms of personality and everything. It's just like, no, I'm thinking of just like star players, and like, I love Steph. He's not really like that. I feel like he's, kind of quiet. For the most part, he's like a quiet person. LeBron is like different. Like, yeah, I think maybe like younger LeBron, you could argue, kind of had that about him, kind of the charm and whatnot. But beyond that, it's like, dude, I just how he presents himself and whatnot. I can't even think. I don't know, man. It's cool to see, and it's like, when you watch him play, I'm like, dude, how is he doing these things? And like, some of the things he does so easily, getting to the basket, and you could argue that some of it's like, Denver's defense isn't the best, but he still has, KCP on him, and KCP is like one of the best defenders in the league, like Denver's best defender for sure, and he's just cooking him, and it's kind of wild to watch. So yeah, there's a lot of discussions about that series right now. People saying that it's a sweep and everything. It's too fucking early, man. Too early to jump to that. Let's just like hold our horses for a bit, alright? People that talk, it's like, after one game calling for a sweep, it's just like, it's ridiculous. It's, I never put money on sweeps. Like, I would never put up money on sweeps. Like, regardless of how much better that one team is over the other, like, I feel that in 5 is usually like the safest option for, like, if you're betting, right? I don't, I've talked about, I just like betting, but if you were to bet, I would, it's like, you see an opponent that's a lot better and superior to the other opponent, I feel like it's better to say in 5 as opposed to 4, because the sweep is It's not easy, man. It's not easy, but I mean, Denver has to win Game 3. This is what it is. They have to win Game 3. So, um, it's kind of wild, just considering, Denver was kind of heralded by a lot of people, and rightfully so, I think, as the team that to be being the defending champs, and the construction of their team, and they have the MVP. Jokic got his third MVP today, which was announced. So if you look at that, you're like, yeah, I mean, they're the best team for sure, man. Look at the way they run their offense, dude. It's unstoppable. Jokic is unstoppable, and then you got this Timberwolves team, and you're like, Karl Anthony Towns is playing defense. Like, what is happening? It's wild, man. So really, I mean, it was just really impressive stuff by the Timberwolves. I've been watching them kind of the entire season, just because I was so curious about kind of the the whole Gobert thing, and they're kind of like I don't know, I felt they were sort of like a bit of a dark horse going into this season, the regular season, and now looking where they are, it's kind of crazy, and the amount of scrutiny the team got, the front office got with the Gobert trade and everything, and to the point that we are now is sort of interesting, but things can turn around quick in sports, so, and anything can happen in sports. Yeah. Anything else I want to talk about? Oh my god, dude. Nintendo news. Just gaming news. I've been talking about gaming in forever. The Switch successor was basically announced by Nintendo themselves. Like, not officially, like, release date or anything, but they said, like, hey, we got a direct, but we're not going to talk about the Switch successor. And you're like, what? They just casually say that on Twitter? Like, no, not like a surprise reveal or anything. It's so funny after all of the months of speculation and just like rumors and leaks and all of that shit. They're just like, yeah, we're working on it, but we're not going to talk about it yet. It's like, all right. At least that gives people some assurance that it's actually going to come. The wording there is, maybe you could glean some things from it. Maybe it indicates that it is going to be, essentially a Switch 2, right? If they say successor, but you don't know. You don't know. I just don't know why you would divert from the Switch model, considering how successful it has been, being potentially, could, I don't know if it's going to get up to PlayStation 2 numbers, but, maybe one of the highest selling consoles of all time, which is wild. That's crazy. So it's like, why wouldn't you capitalize on that at least and try to build off of it? But who knows, man? Nintendo's weird. Nintendo's a very weird company. Yeah, so they just kind of casually announced it. I haven't really kept up on any other news. I just saw a video and some stuff pop up on like Reddit, but yeah, beyond that, I don't know, man. I mean, it's exciting that there's also going to be like a June direct as well, which is cool. That's good news. I'm happy to hear that. It's cool that's been kind of confirmed in advance too, because I'm interested in seeing what other games are coming out. This is a little while back. I was kind of disappointed to hear about the Ayuden Chronicles. Apparently, it got released to kind of mixed reviews, which is kind of unfortunate. Because I was looking forward to potentially getting that game. I still might, maybe they've fixed some, maybe they patch it up for, newer versions of the game. I mean, I'm probably not going to play it. I mean, I wasn't going to play it anytime soon, but it was on a list of newer games that I was interested in potentially picking up. So I don't know. It's sort of disappointing to hear that it wasn't up to the standard that we were kind of expecting. So So maybe, maybe there's going to be some updates and whatnot that will fix it, but just based on what I heard, I might pass it for now, and just kind of wait to see if there's any updates on that front. I did not bring my Switch with me, because I do not have time to game. So, and honestly, it's a good break. It's a good break to kind of take away from gaming and stuff. I felt that I want to get back into Baten Kaitos for sure and beat the game and whatnot. Yeah, but it's okay. It's not a big deal to not play for a little while. It'll feel better when I dive back into it. I'll be like, yes, get back into the story and listen to the music and that sort of thing. So that's gonna feel nice. But I've been busy, and a good kind of busy, and yeah, I'm gonna enjoy the time that I am out here. Kind of build out sort of a new kind of schedule and just do the most that I can, enjoy the things that I have around me. Obviously do kind of some of the touristy things, but that's obviously exciting. But I just think living in a different space is really nice for me, and that's probably the thing I'm most grateful for right now. I'm the most just kind of happy about is just sort of how I'm, this feels good. This feels, I like kind of this situation, and I hope that this is something that I can, pursue and try to figure out, after I go back, and maybe I can try to build something off of this. So yeah, overall, good things. I'm doing good. This is probably the best that I've been in a while, despite, some of the things that I've ran into recently, but right now, currently in this present moment, I'm good. Yeah, I just want to appreciate that and put that on record. Anyways, that's gonna do it for this very, very late episode of the podcast, but I just wanted to put it out there. Thanks for listening. This has been Save the Semantics. Signing off.